Hi, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Body. We have a great topic today because I think that it will resonate with you if you are on a diet or weight loss journey, but it's to track or not to track your macros. And I think you probably fall into one of the two camps. I know that Anna and I fall into one of the two camps. So we're excited just to talk about our thoughts behind it. Should you do it? Should you not do it? What are the pros and cons? And yeah, let's dive into it.
I love it because we are so the same and so the opposite at the same time.
I know.
And that is so rich for our podcast. So we can bring our perspective, like honestly and real, and be in a different side.
Yeah.
And at the end, I agree with everything. so excited about talk about this today.
Yeah. And listen, there's not one right answer. I will argue for why tracking is valuable, why we should all track at least a certain time in our journey with a certain, goal in mind. I think it's important to track. And
I agree, especially if you are looking for lose weight. I think count your macros. It is very important, and it's what what I put my girls should do most of the time when we are talking about to lose weight. But for me, especially for me, I think because I have done 18 preps, was 5 years, very intense, following a protocol, super restricted. It's not, I have done my preps like very, very old school style. So for me, it's just a trigger for eating disorder. So every time that I put myself to track my macros, I end up gaining weight. And I just realized that I'm mentally affected to be on a protocol right now. Maybe they can change in the future. And that was good for me because I do have clients are the same way. And every time that I try to put it in a meal plan to follow some protocol, they just boom. So I found a different way for myself. And as you said, it is not the right answer. And if he has a right answer for that, the right answer is look what's better for yourself.
yeah, exactly.
What makes you do without to bring you any bad feelings. Bad feelings is different than hard feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It can be hard, but it can be excited, can be, and can be hard and be bad, or it can be easy and be bad. So I think that is the very important. You figured it out what is best and works for yourself.
I think that's a great way to put it because if counting calories, if the thought of tracking your macros and entering in an app, if that seems like it would trigger some eating disorders, is what I'm trying to say, or trigger like something negative in your body, then that's probably not the right way to go. If tracking calories just brings like an inconvenience and you just don't feel like it, then that's probably not a good reason to do it. And also, not everybody needs to track, right? So I never tracked, ever, my entire life. And the only reason I started tracking was in support of a friend who wanted to lose weight. And he said, let's start working out. Let's just download my Fitness Pal and track our foods and we can follow each other and support each other. And so I just did it out of like camaraderie, not because I needed to. But for me at that point, it was so eye-opening. I didn't have a weight loss goal at that point, but like to see the ratio of the macros I was eating and just to see my habits, in an app was, I think, very eye-opening for me.
Yeah, because you learn a lot about yourself.
You definitely do.
We have the tendency always to answer like, no, but I eat pretty good.
And we all would say that.
We always remember the main meals, right? The breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner. But we forget so easily the calorie behind that we have during the day. What calories are that? You are walking on your kitchen and you get like 10 almonds. And then you get a piece of cheese. And then one bread. And then you drink some orange juice. Whatever you're eating, it is counted in the day. So it is so important you understand and made that work for me because I do have a lot of knowledge. And I already figured it out, the foods that I like to have, the health foods. So I basically eat the same every day. The variation that I have is honestly my proteins. We already talked about how I figured it out the menu of my week. And
Well,
is
revisit
that
that. Let's revisit how you figure out. Because actually, I'm curious because I've been tracking my macros for so long now, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm curious, like for somebody who doesn't track their macros, like how do you ensure that you're getting enough protein, right? Because we talk a lot about eating enough protein for satiety, for to help build your muscle, like all these reasons that you were eating protein for. Also, how do you ensure you're getting enough?
so I don't track an app or follow a protocol, but I know that in the morning I'm gonna have some oats with a protein powder or a protein shake when I'm too busy to prepare. And I know in my lunchtime I'm gonna have like 4 ounces. I still wait, especially now that I wanna, drop a little bit. So my especially lunch and dinner, I wait my protein
Okay.
and my carbs. So it's a kind of way to me to make sure that it's not only I'm not only eat by my eyes or by my stomach, but by what my body needs.
Mhm.
But it's that like some chicken, some rice, some salad. I don't like much veggies to be honestly. So I have some salad. I know that it's not
I
right
think
to
it's so
say.
weird you don't like veggies.
I hate it. It's not that I don't like. I hate it.
I think that's so funny, especially coming from somebody as healthy
I
as you and who's
know.
a trainer, and it's like
I
you hate
know. I think
vegetables. So
because in my
weird.
life or in my house I didn't grow up
Yeah.
having a lot, so this tastes weird for me. So I make soup. I always have some veggie soup. I do it. I force myself. And then in my lunch, I have some tuna sandwich, chicken sandwich. That is easy to me. Bring it to the gym and have, between my sessions. Nighttime is the same thing. My lunchtime. Before bed, if I'm still hungry, I have some protein smoothie that I make with some avocado or protein powder and almond milk, and it's the way that works for me. I know if I want to change, I can change. If I want to have a yogurt, instead the tuna sandwich, I can without to see if, okay, I'm missing 10 grams of that. Or I do, because that, again, stresses me out. Not the math that I actually love to do for my clients, but all this pressure, I cannot even explain. Just trigger me and I start to lose control. So it's better. I think it's because I did, have the eating disorder. So one of the things that is so common who has the eating disorder is thinking too much about food.
Yeah. You're very food focused.
Yes. So instead to eat for live, I
Live to eat.
live to eat. So now the fact that, okay, every 2 3 hours I don't let myself get hungry as well, otherwise I'm gonna lose control, and I know it. So every 2 hours and a half, 3 hours, I eat something. I keep myself,
Your blood sugar stabilized, so you're not just reaching for thinking about food.
exactly, and don't overthink. I do make my choice on Saturdays. So I order my grocery and I meal prep. So I choose what protein I'm gonna have during the week, what carbs I'm gonna pick this week, rice, potato, or some quinoa, sandwich or yogurt with fruits and granola. So I organize that, and every week I make some change. And instead to eat this, for example, the brown rice cream. My God,
The cream of rice, that
Cream
brown
of
rice, cream of
rice.
rice, so good, right?
so good. So after she told me that, I try it. I love it. So sometimes instead to have the oat, I have it. But for me, to not have depression, to hit 1,500 calories on the day, or hit my macros and put in the app and make sure that I don't know, it's just make me do better.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. And I think a lot of people would probably feel in the same way and resonate with you on that. Preparation is key, and you still prioritize your protein. So even though you're not counting your macros or entering them into an app, you at least are very cognizant of like how much protein you're having per meal.
Definitely. That is very important you to say, because when we said like country or not, that can feels like, oh, do I follow diet or not? Not. I do follow a health diet, I just not the way that you do, that it's so good. I wish I could, to be honest, because that brings you freedom. So instead to eat that, you're gonna eat the other thing because you put there, you see your macros, or I still left 10 grams of carbs, so may I can have an extra this, an extra that. It's amazing.
I like counting macros, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but I think the downside, if I have one, two counting macros, is that it almost makes me a little food focused as well, in the sense that I have all this food that I need to eat that's going to hit my calorie goal for the day. And am I hungry? Am I not? It doesn't matter because it's in my plan. It's in my macros, right? So could I be overeating when I'm not hungry just because it's already accounted for in my macros? And for example, last night I had a little extra fat. So I had some peanut butter with some protein last night for like my dessert. And did I need that much peanut butter? If I wasn't accounting for it in my macros, I probably wouldn't have had that much. You know what I mean? I probably would have had a lot less. But because I had it, in my macros, I had it on my plate.
But in your situation, you have to, because you are athlete and we have a goal. So your macros are calculated.
Sure.
You know,
I know I'm a little different because of my situation.
Yeah, but you're right. If you are in a deficit caloric, let's say, because you want to lose weight, you want to drop your body fat, you're never going to force yourself to eat something if you are full, genuine full, because listen to your body is the first thing that you should do in the whole process, the whole time. So your case is different, yes. Even you're not hungry, you're full, whatever. We have a bunda to keep it.
You got to keep feeding the growth of the roots.
But yeah, it is a point, But even that, when you are in a deficit caloric and your diet is major plan, they already made your deficit. So sometimes it is the way that you have to speed up your metabolism.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you're gonna need to push yourself and do it. And it's why I think count macros are very, very important. I think if you have a goal, a specific goal, gain or lose weight, you should follow a protocol. But if you are on my situation and there is small group of people who is triggered by that, you're gonna need to go in a different way, and maybe it's gonna be a little harder because you're gonna need to be trusting yourself that you're making a good choice and not sabotage yourself. That is so easy to do it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not hungry but I want to eat,
Yeah.
And I need to remember, but we already had like 4 good meals. What I have left to stay on my deficit caloric is not that much. And if I'm not hungry, my body is telling me like, no, 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 you had enough.
Yeah.
I'm working good. You're not hungry. Just don't do it. So yeah, it is why, again, it is so important. If you are get a specific goal, look for a professional, because they're going to help you figure it out what the best for you. So may you're not getting results, or because you are not, for definitely because you're not doing the right thing, and maybe because you are doing by yourself, you have no knowledge enough for that. Maybe the professional that you're going also is not good for you. Sometimes it's not, they cannot understand your necessity or your personality or your mind. And when we talk about the processes, everything starts here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that for you, because you are so structured, because you do prioritize your protein and you're disciplined, you have your like meal plans that you set for yourself and you plan throughout the week. I think that not counting calories makes it a little bit easier because you have a system in place. I think for the general population, we do not have a set structure in what we eat. We kind of roll with the flow. We eat out a lot. We have families that we cook for. So it's like different ingredients and recipes and something different all the time. And that might seem like an intimidating reason why you would not want to track calories, because you're like, oh my God, I eat all this food. Like, how am I going to put this in an app, or take control of it? But I think in that scenario, it's even more important to track your calories, because the accumulation of calories can be so sneaky, and you could be consuming them in so many different ways if you're eating a bunch of different things and a bunch of different ingredients and eating out at restaurants, that you could be gaining weight without even realizing that it's because of what you're putting in your mouth in these different ways. So one of the things that calorie counting really brought to attention to me, like I mentioned, was little sneaky calories, like using olive oil. You think olive oil is good for you? Well, it does. It has some really good properties to it that are healthy, but still it's a fat.
It's your extra calorie, and the calorie that is an occult calorie that you don't even thinking about it. And you need to remember you're gonna have this is a fat, and then you're gonna have the peanut butter, and then you're gonna have other things, and at the end of the day you're gonna have too much fat or too much carbs. And you brought something that is very, very interesting. Has two ways to do diet. All right, follow the meal plan. That for me, it's kind of what I do. I don't count, but I follow. And I have a client. Most of my clients start that way. They follow a protocol, so they don't know how many calories they have there. It is the process. And then they go to the phase that count the macros because they want to have more freedom. We already have done like the lose weight phase, probably they going through the maintain phase. So they needed to live, better life, socialize, and understand how to put her lifestyle on her life. So that is a very, very good way to use the can macros. So, okay, now I already eating health, I wanna go for dinner. I work in a company that every day or at least 3-4 times we need to go for lunch or dinner with the clients or whatever happened in your life. It is so good to have the knowledge how your macros are, what is protein, what is carbs, what is fat in food, because for us we have the knowledge, but I did have a client that asked me like, can I change my avocado for bread? So like, no,
Not the same thing.
avocado is fat, bread is carbs. It's that.
Yeah.
It's the knowledge. And sometimes it is hard to start like before you're already eating health. So to put your macros on the app and check them was excited, was more knowledge for you, that it didn't overwhelm you.
It didn't overwhelm me, and it still doesn't to this day. And I'll tell you how I use it now. Before, when I started using it, I started to understand how these accumulation of calories came in foods that were not like either satisfying or part of my meals or satiating. So it helped me make different choices, right? So for example, if I'm going to eat something, I'm going to eat it without the oil because I don't need 150 extra calories. All of that comes in fat grams, in my meal. It's a waste because it's not filling me up. It's not satisfying me. So I learned how to like negotiate my macros to make it work for me so I can eat more foods that I actually like and enjoy, right? So it's not like all healthy all the time, but it's like, okay, if I want to eat some tortilla chips, I'd much rather eat a handful of tortilla chips than a tablespoon of olive oil, right? That's just one example. Not to say that I use that, but that's the kind of thing that I used it for. And even today, of course, I'm like on a meal plan, and I am on a meal plan, but I would say that I have gotten to the point where I know the foods I should be eating, and I know the foods that, especially during prep, like work well with my digestive system and all of that stuff. But I still every night for the next day put my macros in because sometimes I like to move around my ingredients or have like different proteins, or like, I may want rice the next day instead of potatoes.
Yeah.
And so that opens up some less carbs for me, so like I still manipulate them every day to work for me, and it keeps it, I don't know, a little bit like exciting for me and like fresh. So even though I'm on a meal plan and eating relatively the same foods every single day, I still have like some freedom to manipulate them and move them around to fit
And
me.
that is possible to you, even you are on prep, because we have done 2 years watching your body so close to see what kind of food hurts you, hurts your stomach, what the ones that we need to avoid, what's the one that we can have. For bodybuilder, I saw when I was competing, all these macros come in as a very strong thing back the days. Because before was like a meal.
So there are two methods to dieting. It was one, a meal plan. So you just like follow exactly what the meals say every single day, or two, macros. So the coach would give you a certain calories with specific protein, carbs, and fats, and you can eat whatever you want within those, that range.
My coach said like, no, we don't come macros. We're gonna still doing the old style. You know, those are the food. I don't wanna see you change your oatmeal for a Oreo or any cookie. You know, and I remember all those girls was posting like, you know, I fit in my macros, and you're gonna look at them so like, all right, but you don't fit in the bodybuilder word for at all, because that is the truth. You're not gonna see nobody change a bowl of oatmeal for a cookie. You know, okay, it is not carbs, the fat. Okay, I'm gonna cut out everything. I'm gonna leave the cookie. How you gonna have this density? You cannot have that muscle. You know, the skin, and that you can see the muscle, you know. So I'm glad that my coach say no, and now
you're accustomed to the meal plan without not the macro plan.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is easy if you're just on the macro plan, you're just trying to stay within your calories, then you have the propensity to eat not healthy foods, because sure, you could fit a cheeseburger and french fries in your macros. I mean, it might be like 50% of your calories for the day.
The only reason that I let she does, because I know she knows better. She's not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So it's why she now has the freedom. But we working.
But I still say
point.
I stay within the same ingredients. Like I don't, you know, I may have like 3 carbs that I choose, 3 proteins, 3 fats.
But you know, when we are 2 weeks out, there's no time to make change, or you know, and that it's because we built this strong foundation. You have so much more knowledge now than 2 years ago. I'm so glad to see that. And it's why it works for you, even though you are on prep. And I like to brought this out because is that, you know, sometimes you see that at social media try to selling something, or you know, understand better the process, especially for a bodybuilder. If you are a lifestyle, but you still don't have cellulite, you still don't have hold fat on your, you know, on your belly, on your legs, you should eat more real food. But sometimes have the freedom is gonna make you stay on track. So again, the better for you, it's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna keep happy, keep feeling excited, not feeling miserable, because that is not sustainable. So here it is so good that we have one on prep checking the macros, and another one lifestyle who follow more the meal plan, you know. And because that is works better for me, and that is works better for her, and that way we can achieve the goals, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be one or the other all the time. Sometimes you could track your macros, and then other times you're like, I don't feel like tracking macros anymore.
Sometimes you can have your macros so you know it, and you just track when you are out. Okay, I'm going for a vacation, so I'm gonna use my app to track, to make sure even I'm eating a different food, I still on, you know, pretty much on my macros. And that I think is very helpful.
It is a strategy that I employ is when I'm not on prep and I can eat out at restaurants more often. I will look at the menu in advance and then choose like what I'm going to eat and put them into my Fitness Pal, so I can work my other day meals in that day around having that meal that I want for dinner.
Very, very smart decision. It's when you are using that for a positive way, and you can help the process without to feel you know, oh my God, it's so hard to be on diet.
Down by it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, I just can't figure, I don't want to take the time to do it. It's very time intensive to enter your macros in my Fitness Pal. it probably takes me, I mean, of course, now I've been doing it for a long time, but like if I was to eat a brand new meal, it would take me less than 60 seconds probably to enter that meal into my Fitness Pal. So the learning curve is very, very short. You can figure it out super quickly, just like anything. Just think about really tough shit you do throughout the rest of your day. I guarantee you can figure out my Fitness
That is
Pal.
nothing.
But also, you don't have to use it to its full capacity. Even if you just wanted to use my Fitness Pal to enter in your protein to make sure you're getting enough protein, that's another way to use it that to your benefit.
It's a very good start. And again, that are going to bring you to knowledge. Knowledge bring you to your freedom. Everything that you know better, you do better. So again, eyes every time that we bring some topic that the answer is figure it out what works better for yourself. Do your best every day. Be honest with yourself. Be nice when you fall because that's gonna happen because it's part of the process. And it's that. I hope you guys, by watching, listen to us, is getting that here. It's not about to be perfect. It's about to do better every time, every day, every opportunity. And when we focus on that, inside to focus, what is the best? Start with the basic.
Yeah.
Figure it out what works or not for yourself, and boom.
And MyFitnessPal, and there are other apps that are equivalent to that. It's just a tool to help you, and it's there if you need it. So that's what I mean. Don't stress over it. There are other ways if you wanted to track that aren't through an app, like just writing down what you eat on a piece of paper just for visibility, setting some goals for yourself, like by hand, that don't have to be in an app. So it shouldn't be this like immense pressure or this other job that you feel like you have or on your to-do list. It's just a tool to help you.
Exactly.
And I was going to say, if you guys want a tutorial, like how to use MyFitnessPal, I think we could be happy to do one.
So nice.
Record it.
So
yeah.
nice.
If anybody's interested or, doesn't know how to use it, be happy to walk through how I do.
Yeah, I love the idea. And I think we should also, I'm anticipating the ideas, but I think we should have talked about how the vegan can survive in this world, tracking the protein on the MyFitnessPal.
Maybe we'll do an episode on vegan, like how to have.
She's a specialist, by the way. If you are looking for a coach, you're vegan, vegetarian, don't eat baby animals.
Don't eat any animals.
She's the woman. You should link yourself, because
thank you.
It's the best way, have a professional help.
Learn from my mistakes. That's the part that I made a lot of them.
It is the best way to learn, right?
Yeah, it is. Truly is. But anyway, I hope you found this topic helpful. I just like to hear our perspectives on it.
I hope you have done your cardio watching and listen to us. That is the point. Come on, ladies.
This podcast is designed to help your cardio go faster. So
it's when I watch it.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave any questions, comments below.
Subscribe, like, share.
Follow us on Instagram at Behind the Bod. And we will talk to you next time on Behind the Body.
Love you guys.
Bye.